I could taste the past on my tongue the moment I stepped into the ballroom. Crystal chandeliers hummed with light above, scattering diamonds across the marble floor. I moved through the crowd with practiced grace, my spine straight, my hands steady on my son's shoulder. I had chosen a deep emerald gown of things that grow even in darkness. Elias, my son, the living proof of my survival, walked beside me, tall, composed, his eyes scanning the room with measured curiosity. He wore his father's cheekbones, but my unwavering gaze. It was my own rebirth I wore tonight, tailored in silk and certainty. The air was thick with the scent of wealth and ambition. I caught glimpses of people who once looked past me, their eyes now lingering, curious, respectful. I belonged here now. I had made sure of it. I saw him before he saw me. Callum, the man who once whispered forever against my skin, then vanished when my belly rounded and my world collapsed. He was older now, lines carved deeper by regret, or maybe just the passage of time. His suit was expensive, but it hung on him with the weight of small, invisible failures. For years I had rehearsed this moment in the quiet aftermath of sleepless nights, in the boardrooms where I learned to wield power, in the hush of Elias's laughter echoing through our new home. I had wondered if I would shatter or rage or weep. But as Callum's eyes fanged mine across the room, I felt only a cold, clean clarity. He froze. I saw the recognition hit him, a tremor at the corner of his mouth, a way his glass stilled halfway to his lips. For a heartbeat, I remembered the night he left me, the rain on the windows, the echo of the door slamming shut, the way my hand instinctively wrapped around my unborn child. I remembered the humiliation, the hunger, the endless hours in windowless rooms, building something out of nothing. I remembered every kindness denied, every sneer endured. But I also remembered the first time Elias called me Mama, the first contract I landed, the first time I looked in the mirror and saw a woman who could not be broken. Callum moved toward me, each step hesitant, as if the world had shifted beneath his feet. The crowd parted for him, then for me. The old order rearranged. He stopped a pace away. "Eva?" His voice was soft, uncertain. "Is it?" "Yes, Callum." My own voice surprised me, steady, resonant. "It's been a long time." His gaze flicked to Elias, then back to me. I watched him struggle to do the math, to reconcile the boy's age with the timeline of his own cowardice. "This is Elias," I said, my hand resting lightly on my son's shoulder. "My son." Elias, ever the diplomat, extended his hand. "Nice to meet you." Callum shook it, his face a battlefield of emotions. Shame, awe, something like longing. I let the silence stretch, letting him stew in the space where apologies might have lived. I saw him searching for the woman he'd left behind, the girl he'd thought would fade quietly from his life. She was gone. In her place stood someone forged in fire. "You look incredible," he managed. "I didn't know." "Of course you didn't," I replied, my smile gentle, surgical. "You never asked." He flinched. Around us, The room blurred, laughter, glasses clinking, the low thrum of a string quartet. But here, in this circle of reckoning, time held its breath. "I heard you did well for yourself," he offered, clinging to small talk as if it might save him. "Yes, I learned to survive. And then I learned to thrive." He tried again. I'm sorry, Eva, for everything. I was young, stupid. I regret it every day." The apology arrived years too late. I saw its emptiness, its self-serving shape. I let it hang between us uncollected. Elias looked at me, his eyes bright with pride and a question he didn't need to ask. I squeezed his shoulder. I had promised myself long ago that I would never let old wounds bleed into his life. "We all make choices," I said quietly. "Some haunt us, others set us free." Callum's gaze dropped. I saw, in that moment, the true weight of my vengeance, not in anger or cruelty, but in my existence, in the life I had built, in the son who bore witness to my strength. I had become everything he believed I could not. The orchestra swelled. I turned to Elias. He nodded, and we moved past Callum, who lingered in our shadow, smaller now, diminished by one unity of what he had lost. As I glided away, I felt the eyes of the room on my back. I was no longer the abandoned girl, the whispered scandal, the shameful secret. I was the storm that had survived itself. Tonight, I was seen, and that was victory enough.